Okay, so welcome to In the Kitchen with Jelly, where I've got 2 sweet potatoes, a Ninja Foodie, a cup of water, and a timer. And I'm adding the timer tonight so you can kind of see how long it takes to do the cook, but also because sweet potatoes are a little tricky. And this one right here is 1 pound, 2 ounces, and this one's 14 ounces. So I know they're not gonna cook exactly the same. Although I have some I could do the same, I want to cook these different sized potatoes to show you how fast, if this one's not completely done, you can put the lid back on, press the buttons, and how fast it comes back to temperature. And it'll also show you kind of the idea of how long it takes total time to do what I do, which is 25 minutes with 5 minutes natural release on this size potato. Again, all of them are different, so you have to adjust a little bit. But that's pretty much for 2 potatoes. That's my basic go-to. So y'all hang on. I'm going to get some of that started, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've washed both the potatoes with my normal under running cold water with Scotch-Brite. I'm going to use this trivet to start with. I got something I'm going to do with that one in a minute, but mainly this is about cooking the potatoes. So I'm going to place the potatoes in there, just like so. The 1 cup of water, and that is all you need. And the more water you put, kind of the longer it takes to come to pressure or to get hot. So, put the lid on. I'm going to hit pressure on high for, as I said, 25 minutes. I'm going to do a 25-minute cook. And then we're going to poke them with this and see how they're just straight down through to see how much resistance you get. And I don't like mine completely mushy. I like them where when I slice them with a knife, they got a little resistance. But now the wife kind of likes hers all the way mushy. So, I mean, you know how you like your potato. That's all that matters. All we're going to do now is press start. Whoops, got to lock the lid. It is. Press start. I'm going to hit start on the timer. So now we'll know how long it takes to come up to pressure and how long the total cook is. So, be right back. Okay, so we're coming up on the 25-minute cook time. So, in other words, if you subtract 25 minutes from that number right there, which would leave you about 5, maybe 6 minutes, that tells you how long it took that 1 cup of water to turn into steam, come up to pressure, and start this to counting down. So now what I'm doing is I'm letting this count up to 5 minutes and just doing a 5-minute natural release, and then I'm going to release the pressure manually, or quick release, at the 5-minute mark, and then I will stop the timers, and then we're going to do some tests to see if they're done. And I got a few more things I'm going to do to them, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, so another 5 minutes has passed with the natural release. I'm about to dump the rest of this pressure at 5 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to move the camera so you can see the pin, but it just fell. So technically I could open that lid. We're going to stop the timer. So 36 minutes and 30 seconds from 30 minutes of, so if you took that, in other words, somewhere around 6 minutes to come up to pressure. That's all we learned. So it took 36 minutes to do that cook. So 36 minutes from a cold Ninja to this right here. I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit so you can see them. And I'm going to pierce them with this knife. And you can see they look like they split open a little bit. Now, I got some resistance right there. There's no doubt. Nothing drastic. That would probably work for me. But this one right here is absolutely 100% done. And this one right here has slight resistance right there. In fact, that one, I don't know if you can, let me see if you can see. There's where I'm hitting resistance about midway, which probably continued carryover cooking would fix that. So, what I'm going to do is this one, so that tells you something. I mean, the one that was 14 ounces is cooked perfect at 25 minutes. With 5 minutes natural release. That is completely cooked. It's ready to eat. This one, unless you like them kind of like I do, which is a little firm in the middle, it would need a little bit more. I'm going to place this one in the bowl, And even if it doesn't get eaten tonight, my wife will eat that tomorrow. I assure you, she loves them. And I do too. I'm gonna put the lid back on, and this is just to show you how fast, and this is why it doesn't matter if you undercook just a little bit. If you undercook your potato, it's better than overcooking it, because you can't go the other way, obviously. So we're gonna clear the timer, reset the timer. Whoops, now it's trying to sell me something. And now I'm probably gonna be best for me to just turn it off to clear everything. And I'm making sure you can see all of what I'm doing. Now we're going to go, same thing, pressure. We're going to add 5 minutes. We're on high again. We're going to press start there and start here. So you'll be able to see how long, and that's the big deal. Uh-oh, I like to forgot that again. You got to seal your vid. And the point here is how fast, once everything's heated up, and how fast it will come back to pressure and start counting down from 5 minutes. So there's the timer running. I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see how long this extra 5 minutes takes. Y'all hold on, I'll be right back. You know what? I have decided one more thing. I'm going to temp this one, because this one is probably as perfect as you can get. And that'll give it a little time. Maybe this will come up. So let's see if I can get where you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try and stand like this. So this potato in the center is 195, 190. It's okay. It says it's 197, 198. We'll take a couple of other readings. We'll go to right there, and that's probably about as close as you get to perfect in the center. And again, 198. And I just heard the Instant Pot. I'm blocking it, but I just heard well, I'll show you. The red tip has already came up. It's up already. So that took 1 minute and 55 seconds. And that was for the pin to come up. Now it hasn't started counting yet, but I got a feeling it'll be just shortly. I'm gonna leave the camera running. If I have to, I'll fast forward it. So y'all hang on. And there it goes. So at 2 minutes and 20 seconds is how long it took. And that's why, if you ask me, it's not a big deal if you undercook something. It's that easy if you're just kind of pay attention to what you're doing and get it out. If it's not done, go ahead and get that lid back on. And yes, you have to kind of, make the lid's you got to make sure it's set to vent. And then you kind of got to get it to go, because it's trying to build pressure. It's trying to seal. So it's an excellent way to add time. And it's no different than the oven. If you pull one out of the oven, or if you open the oven up and stick a toothpick in it like everybody used to do, and it's not done, you just leave it in there a little longer. Okay, so I guess this might be a little bit confusing, because I'm trying to show, a couple of things. But one is this right here. That's a 5 minute cook. So it took it 2 minutes. And well, you saw how long it took, because the pin came up. And it's 2 minutes to come up to pressure after everything's already heated. It's just kind of hard to explain, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say, and trying to show you that when you're cooking potatoes, they don't always cook the same. So you put the lid back on, add a little time. If your knife doesn't pierce the way you like, and that's the main thing, is if the knife doesn't pierce the way you like. If you like it not soft, then you can. But anyhow, let that drain down, let that bleed down, and we're going to come back and pull that one out. All right, there it goes at 8 minutes and 28 seconds. And that was to add 5 minutes of cooking. So I hope this didn't get too confusing, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's just it's no different than the oven. You just add a little time, and it's not a big deal, and it's really quick. Let's temp it just to make sure, but I feel positive we're well within In fact, there's no resistance there. It's as soft as the other one, which honestly, like I said, I like a little resistance, but it's not a big deal if it's not. I'm not sure it's gonna. In fact, that was showing, let's see, I gotta see if you can see that. 189, I'm gonna do now. And this is why I kind of like a little resistance, and there might be some, in fact, there is. See, you can see my lines. It's not just mush. And that's how I like them. So I'm just gonna slice it up a little bit like this. And that's just to take on my butter and a little bit of brown sugar. I'm going to do that to keep from just making this, well, you know what? It's going to be a long video. That's all there is to it. So we're just going to squirt. I like to use squirt butter on a potato. And it may run off a little bit, but it's not a crisis. Just a little bit of brown sugar. And this will be one of the better potatoes, sweet potatoes you'll ever eat. Now, again, you can do whatever you want. Honey, maple syrup, walnuts, I mean, coconut. People put a lot of stuff on them. I don't have to tell you that, though. So, I'm going to see if I can get that set in here before I add the marshmallows. I'm going to take this piece out, take that trivet out, and add this in there. Just like that. And then I just put these little miniature marshmallows on. And you have to kind of, I'm in a bit of a hurry trying to keep the video from being so long. But you have to kind of make them stay. But if they fall off, it's not a big deal. They're going, I leave the water in the bottom so they don't, you know, cause a mess. And that right there is probably plenty. So now, all I'm going to do, close the lid. Make sure I don't have anything in the way over here. I'm going to hit broil. And I'm just going to leave it on 10 minutes because I'm going to watch them. I'm going to do the raise and look every once in a while, sneak a peek. So we're up and running. And we will see what those look like in probably about, we'll look at them in 2.5, 3 minutes. So y'all hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so that's about 2.5 minutes. And you can see they're just now starting to soften up a little bit, but they got a little bit to go. So we'll come back to them in about another 2.5 minutes. Okay, so we're coming up on 5 minutes, and let's see what the marshmallows look like. Oh, they're getting right. You know, I think I'm gonna let them go just a shade more. But I'm gonna say 1 more minute, then we're gonna call them, pull them out. Okay, let's see what they look like. And they look excellent. So I'm about to set those out of there. I'm gonna let them cool just a minute, and we're gonna see what they look and taste like. Let's see if we can set them out right quick while I got the video running. All right, I'm gonna turn this just a little bit. I'm going to lift this out, and I got a little bit of glove in it. So I may have messed that side up a touch, but not bad. And if I hadn't have done that, you can see how well they'll serve. I mean, that's a great looking thing to put on somebody's plate. But y'all hold on, we're gonna taste them. Okay, so I don't have to tell you all the things you can put on a baked sweet potato. I mean, the sky's the limit. And I mean, if I was gonna add anything to this one, and I might do it, is cinnamon and honey. But I mean, coconut, walnuts, things people don't even think about, you can. They're an excellent food that a lot of people love, and you can do a lot of things with them, including what my wife does most of the time, which is just butter, salt, and pepper. And you see how quick and easy it is in the Ninja. 36 minutes, including come up to temp time. And then if you miss it, and it is easy to do on a sweet potato because there's so many different sizes and textures and just everything's different. But once you poke that knife through it, you know if you need more or if you don't. Well, it's simple. I mean, what it took, I forget what it was, but you can look on the video. It's just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes or so, to come back up to pressure and cook it another 5 minutes, and it's no big deal. And you do it in the oven, like I said all the time. You put it in the oven, and you stick a toothpick in it. If it's not done, you just close the lid and close the door and let it go a little bit longer. Anyhow, enough of that. This is an excellent meal. It's excellent for a dessert or a side dish. And excellent, as I said. Whoops. But anyhow, thank you very much for watching my videos. Like, share, subscribe, all of the above, or like I said last time, all of the below, I think it is. But if you don't mind, again, thanks for watching. Y'all come back to see me, and y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.